It's always fun to have the doorbell ring and package, Amazon package. So I'm just gonna open this. Inside it, what is it? Always exciting, always exciting. This is a KNF digital high definition, low profile, variable ND filter. Variable. And this is one of the pieces that I was missing from the kits that I actually wanted, which is why I bought this one independently. So let's open it up and take a look. Alright, so what's in the little bag? Let's just take the bag apart here, shall we? Because I think that's what you guys want to know. Inside the bag, just so you can see, our service team will work hard to put a smile on your face. Please don't hesitate to contact us. Got their contact information and stuff in it. Right there, number one. Cool, I guess. Number two, not gonna open it, but like with most lenses or filters or anything, you get a little cleaning cloth, which is excellent. And last but not least, you get the box for the KNF Concept variable filter. I'm gonna open this up. And this is a 49 mil, so it's a 49 mil because I wanted it for my Canon M50. And this is a camera that I've been shooting a lot for video. That's the reason that I got a variable ND filter. One of the biggest issues with a standard ND filter, so I have for my 58mm, and I'll put a link to the video for that stuff. I have a ND4, ND8, and an ND16. Problem is light changes throughout the day. So if I'm shooting video and I'm shooting, let's say, in 24 frames, which means I want to put my shutter speed around 1/50th of a second, then I'm almost always getting too much light. So let's say it's cloudy, overcast, so I put an ND4 on there and it's good, and then all of a sudden the clouds separate and I get sun coming in. Now I have to take that one off, put an ND8 on. It gets really bright, I have to take that off, put an ND16 on. So I wanted something that I could put on in the morning because I knew I was going to be outside shooting all day, and that's it. One, put it on, spin it. So what happens is, and this is it, nice little case that it comes in, which is kind of nice. We're gonna open this up. Inside it is that variable ND filter. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it actually on this camera right here, so my M50. Try not to get my fingers on it. So always try to grab it by the outsides. Now this lens, because it's variable, is definitely thicker than my standard ND lenses. Probably by about 2 times, so just be aware of that. We're going to take this, screw it on. Now the other thing to be aware of is that when you put this lens on, as far as I can see, I would say that your front diameter gets a bit bigger. What is it? I'm not overly sure. I'd have to look that up and see if I can find that for you. Anyway, this front element moves, and you'll actually see at the top, and I'll see if I can put a cutaway here. At the top, there are little dots to tell you kind of minimum through maximum, so as you're kind of moving around through the ND. Let's go outside. It's a little brighter out. It's not crazy bright. It's been raining all day. We'll go outside and see if we can see how this works. Okay, let's go do that. Alright, so we're outside, and I've switched to my iPhone shooting this just so you can see there's going to be a bit of a color difference, of course, because this is in my hand. What we're going to do is, again, it's kind of cloudy and overcast outside right now, so the need for an ND filter in general is probably not going to be great. So I'm going to bring this up. The reason for an ND filter to start really is, I'm going to tilt this, hold up. Is that better? Is that better? Yeah, that's better. The reason for the ND filter is a lot of times it's for just for photo, is for creativity. So if you want to do long exposures and things like that, and it's in the middle of the day, what happens is it's way too sunny. So how do you get your exposure to be, or your shutter to stay open long enough when it's crazy bright out in the first place? So you have to make it darker by putting an ND filter on. For those of us that shoot a lot of video, which is what I'm doing right now, and I do probably a lot, is that really you want your shutter speed to be twice as fast as your frame rate. So if I'm shooting at 24 frames, I'd want to set mine, because cameras can't do 48, I want to set it at 50. I'm shooting at 60, I'd want to set it in and around 120, etc, etc. So I'm going to take my camera, turn it on, and I'm going to set my camera to manual, because if you set it to automatic, then you really have no control, and it's just going to kind of do everything on its own anyway. I got my camera set in here. I'm going to make sure that it is set to full manual. And actually, I might bring the camera over here so you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay, so here's the camera, and you'll see I'm in movie auto exposure. I'm going to switch that to manual. Hit OK. And this is going to be different depending on the camera that you're shooting. So at the bottom of mine, you'll actually see the actual shutter speed and the aperture. I am going to make sure, I think right now I'm shooting in 1/60th. So you can see up at the top, maybe hopefully it says 59.94, which means that this should be at around, I'm going to scroll this, 125, return. So that would be what I want. Now now the other thing to adjust, this is important, because if not, your ISO is just going to start flipping around. So I'm going to set my ISO to 100. Okay, and as you can see, it's gone pretty much all black. And if I push it this way, I can get some light back in. See how as you spin this, hopefully you can see that. As I spin it, it gets darker and darker. Now, this is a day that probably, even at full, this ND filter is too dark for shooting at 1/60th. Hopefully you guys can see that. Too dark for shooting at 1/60th. So what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to change this to go to 24 frames a second. 24 frames. I'm going to set this back now, because it's 24, to 50, and you'll see actually that brightens up nice. Right? So 1/24th, 50, we're good. We got good exposure. What happens now is this is locked. It's not going to change, and I'm doubling. Hopefully you guys are staying in the shot. So I'm going to go out and take some footage just to see what that looks like. Okay, so we're back in the house, and hopefully you got a chance to see that footage that we just watched. If not, what I want you to do is go back and look at it. One of the biggest reasons for the ND filter, for me especially, is with video. Without an ND filter, when you're shooting in that level of light, which wasn't a lot outside, or more, what happens is, of course, that your camera is going to start cranking up the actual shutter speed, which means you're not going to get nice movement. That's when you start to see, especially on pans, you know, up and down, not so much going this way, you will start to see it look like it stutters. It's a movement that nobody likes to see. And if you look at a lot of my previous videos, that movement is definitely there. It's there in some of the videos, because I didn't have one of these. This, big addition. The only thing you have to be aware of is that you are going to end up shooting in manual mode. So you just have to be aware of your settings and take a little bit more time. But you're going to get way better output, which is fantastic. Now, in regards to what I had said earlier about the outside filter diameter. So I checked some of my floating caps around the house, and 52 mil is what fits. This lens, normally 49 filter thread. You put this on, the outside filter thread comes in at a 52. I'll just take this off for a second. This is the normal one that went on the kit lens for the M50. This is the one that I luckily had a spare of. KNF, if you're watching this, the only thing I think would be nice is if you actually included a lens cap for the filter, so that when you actually have it on your camera, you can put a different cap on. That would be nice. Kind of important. Alright, my friends, I'm going to leave you there. You should go get one, because these are awesome. You'll spend less if you buy a kit that includes just normal ND filters, 100%. But having the convenience of being able to have one ND filter on your lens that you can just change on the fly, for me, worth it. I spent $25-ish to $30 for the kit, which included the ND filters, and I paid $35 for just this one variable ND filter. So be aware of it, but I think it's well worth it. You should go get it. I'll put a link down there. Do it. Do it. Find the and if you're only gonna buy one like me, find the lens that you use the most and get it for that one, especially if it's for video. So a wide one. All right, my friends, I'm gonna leave you there. I've rambled on too much. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will talk to you again in the next video. Have a good one, my friends.